Gmail is what I'm on now. That's the, you got the most space for attachments. Anyway,
thank you.
Feel free to hit me up if you remember that number. I noticed you ain't write that down. Damn. That girl was fly, right?
Yeah, but did you see that Liam Neeson's movie with them wolves, though?
The one with them big-ass wolves and Liam Neeson's in it?
Liam Neeson's is my
Oh, Liam Neeson straight jacked up them wolves, man.
He them wolves up, man. Shoot, man. Hey, and don't even get me started on that one when they took his daughter.
Straight tookin', starring Liam Neesons.
Man, Liam Neeson's on the phone like, I have a certain set of skills. Man, with Liam Neeson.
Don't even try and be rushing around Liam Neeson. He'll take your arm out, fractures it.
Kill him, man. And then, you see the second one, though? In the second one, the Russians come after him, and he them all up anyway.
Tookin' 2, starring the incomparable Liam Neesons.
That's my What about Dark Man? No, huh? What about Liam Neeson's in some Dark Man? No. What about Dark Man?
When Liam Neeson's face was changing up there.
Homie was straight face changing. Now, that's just Liam Neeson's acting right there, man.
Straight up, I kid you not, Academy Award caliber, classic Neesons.
Come on, seriously. I mean, like, Neesons already need to have a statue.
Liam Neeson's ain't got no...
He ain't got a statue. He ain't got a statue. He ain't got a statue. Nope.
The Oscar goes to Liam Neeson's Dark Man. Face was changing. How hard is that?
It ain't hard, dog. It's not hard at all.
Damn.
It's stupid, man.
Ops. Battleship? Battleship! Liam Neeson straight killed a robot boat!
Liam Neeson's is my shiznit. Woo! But you know who I like as much as Neeson's?
As much as Neeson's? Who?
Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis is my...
But what if they made a movie with Liam Neeson's and Bruce Willis?
Neesons and Willie.
Glee and Neeson's.
Harder, man. Harder. That would be my shit! Damn, she was fly.
Shy. Yo, man, can I ask you a question?
Yeah. What?
Why everybody messing with the Batmans?
See? That's exactly what I've been asking myself.
It don't make no sense.
Why would you do it?
Why would you do that? Why would you try and mess with the Batman?
It's futile.
It is.
Yo, remember Heath Ledger's tried to?
I mean, the Batman's got armor and be knowing some martial arts, some movie assassin. And don't worry, I got armor and then martial arts.
Come on.
All you got is a purple suit and some pancake makeup.
Come on, man.
I mean, come on, man.
Why would you mess with the Batman?
That's what I'm saying, man.
Oh, remember when Danny DeVito's tried it? Start walking around talking about...
Come on, man. I mean, the Batman is a multi-billionaire with a grudge. You just a little fat mother in a tuxedo with an umbrella.
Exactly,
Come on,
man. It's like a pretend bird can't mess with the Batman.
No way. Out of the question, man. Jim Carrey's, though.
Jim Carrey's, though.
Jim Carrey.
Come on, riddle me this, riddle me that, mans. How's Ace Ventura gonna mess with Batman?
Well played.
How's Ace Ventura?
Well played.
Hey, Batmans, I've come to get you.
Now,
Yeah!
see? How are you supposed to block a batarang from going in your butt with a carefully crafted query?
You cannot. That's how.
It's impossible.
Hey. Michelle Pfeiffer.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Michelle Pfeiffer
Michelle
tried to mess with the
Pfeiffer's,
Batmans.
though.
Michelle
Michelle
Pfeiffer tried to mess with the Batmans.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Michelle Pfeiffer tried to mess with the Batman.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Guess what, Michelle Pfeiffer? You ain't a real cat.
Come on. I'll tell you one thing. Ain't no way you gonna meows with the Batman.
But what about Arnold Schwarzenegger, though? What's Arnold Schwarzenegger trying to do? What is Arnold Schwarzenegger? Huh? Feel the burn. Feel the burn. Feel the burn. It should be in your triceps.
Oh,
You know
come
what?
on,
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
You can't turn up the AC and think that's gonna mess with the Batman.
What are you supposed to be doing to the Batman? Giving the Batmans a cold?
Come on,
Giving the Batmans a sniffle?
Batman's talking about bat lozenge.
And you're defeated.
Come on, man. You know, there is one person, though,
Oh, no, here it comes now.
There is one person who could
Here
mess
it
with the
comes
Batmans.
right now. No.
There's one person
Here it comes
who
right
could,
now.
did, and shall again
It comes
mess
right
with the Batmans.
No. Oh, here it comes.
He trained the Batmans. He gave the Batmans his skills. He's a mirror image of the Batmans in fighting prowess. I'm talking about Ra's al Ghul.
That's right there. Talk about straight up Ra's al Ghul, played by the incomparable
Liam Neeson.
So even when we are talking about the Batmans, Liam Neeson is my share. Dude, I gotta tell you something. Last night on Showtimes, I saw some Lethal Weapon 2.
Lethal Weapon 2 starring the racist-ass Melly Gibson.
I know, but I gotta tell you right up front and truthfully, racist-ass Melly Gibson is still kind of my He's still my
I don't know, dog. Racist-ass Melly Gibson.
I know, but think about it, man. Think about it. Remember when he jacked up all them mutants in the Road Warriors? Talking about, they're nothing in here but sand.
Yeah.
And then remember when he had taken that hatchet and chopped up all them Englands? Remember in The Patriot? And did it in front of all his kids?
You know what, though?
Racist-ass Melly Gibson is still my too.
Oh, remember when racist-ass Melly Gibson's was Blue Man Group and Braveheart?
Oh, my God.
They was chopping off my man's head.
No.
My man was still talking about freedom! Or what about conspiracy theories, though?
What? Oh, come on, man.
What the about conspiracy theories, though? What the about conspiracy theories, though?
What's going on?
Come on.
You know racist-ass Melly Gibson's be directing, too.
Hells yeah.
What about Apocalypto?
Yo, racist-ass Melly Gibsons be telling the story of a bunch of crazy-ass old-fashioned Mexicans
Who had been in the jungle getting chased by a panther.
yup.
My man was straight up saying, and what about that Passions of the Christ?
Passions of the Christ, though.
Passions of the
Passions of
Christ.
the Christ, where racist-ass Melly Gibson's made that movie about Jesus in a kind of racist-ass way.
That was my jam.
And you know what I just realized, though?
What's that?
You know what would be my
What would be your
if racist-ass Melly Gibson's co-starred in a movie with Jesus?
Wait, you talking about the savior of all, the king of all kings, the Alpha and the Omega?
And Jesus. That would be my
Intermission!
Oh, Othello is my shade! Yeah!
Othello, motherfucker.
What's you dead, white person? Oh, this place does seem dope to me, Martensian.
Verily, Lashania, verily. Yo, and 'tis about time Shakespeare doth scriven the play that places a brother amongst the firmament.
That's my sight.
Oh, who's your favorite character? Mine's Othello.
Oh, tis mine as well, tis mine as well.
Because they got Othello as a general? I'm saying, hell if yes.
And Othello did the beast with two backs with that comely white maiden, and didst not anyone speaketh against him. He's straight pimpin'.
Methinks things are looking up for people of the darker hue.
Damn straight.
Woo!
Hey, nani, talking, hey, nani.
Come on.
Oh, Martensian, wouldst that I could borrow a couple of ducats to purchaseth a capon from yonder concession?
More, please. You know I got a concealed Cornish game hand up in my doublet.
Ooh, alloweth me to partaketh up in this bit.
Okay. Get in there.
The second act is about to begin.
Come on, y'all.
Uh-oh.
Y'all heard the Ursher.
Uh-oh, if I know Shakespeare, Othello's about to kill everybody up in this bitch. No.
I hated this play!
How they gonna kill Othello?
Man, that trifling ass Iago, I knew he was up to something. They should have killed him in the first act.
How they gonna kill Othello?
And then how Othello gonna do himself in with a dagger? How doth that happen?
Let me tell you something. If a brother killed himself every time he broke up with a white bitch, this world would be bereft of brothers.
You be talking to a skull right now.
Okay?
Mm-hmm. Where's Shakespeare's at?
Shakespeare.
Oh, he's right there enough.
Okay.
Prithee, make way.
Prithee?
Make way. Prithee, make way. Be gone, Sirrah. You killed Othello.
A black man got it going on and you shuffle off his mortal coil?
I say unto thee, that's a tragedy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 'tis that not the troubadour Kanye of the West?
What? Wait, oh, no, wait.
Truth be told, my lords, 'tis not I who penned this dreadful play. 'Twas Christopher Marlowe.
Yes, you was. Thou already tried to use that line of argument when the Jews wanted to kick your ass after the Merchant of Venice.
We doth not purchase it, Slick Willie. We doth not purchase it.
Be calm, my good lords. 'Twill not be long before another black hero graceth the stage. And now, if you let me take my leave of you.
Not so fast. You gonna write that hero now.
Verily, that mother.
You know, that John Shaft is one bad mother. Shut that mouth.
I just speaketh about Shaft.
So, yeah, I got like 30-something followers. I'm up to like 15 tweets a day. So if you wanted to follow, all right.
No.
What?
They hating on the Hathaways.
They hating on the Hathaway?
They straight hating on Annie Hathaways.
That's your girl, dog.
That's my girl, dog.
Annie Hathaway's from Devil Wears Prada?
They hating on her.
Nicholas Nickleby straight hating. Les Miserables.
Wait, Mr. Roberts, I dream the dreams and dreams get dreams. Come on, man. Why you be hating on that?
How do you be hating on the
I
Hathaways?
do not know.
Because that's your girl,
That's
dog.
my girl. I've been rolling with the Hathaway since Princess Diaries.
You was there since day one.
And you know I be loving me some Princess Diaries too, the royal engagement.
You got the Blu-ray.
I got it on DVD and Laserdisc and VHS, man. Rachel getting married, though.
What?
Rachel getting married,
though.
Rachel getting married, though.
Yo, do you love Anne Hathaways?
I do.
Come on.
Hathaways, come on, man. And then Oscar goes to
Annie Hathaways. Crackhead killed her brother.
That's right.
Come on.
Come on, Mr.
Broken back.
Oh, we broken backs.
Talk about broken backs now.
That's right, broken backs, dog. I'm married to Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jiggling-Thaws.
Thank you. I stand corrected. So wait, you know what?
I didn't
You know,
like that
was
one.
not my though. Broken backs was not
but
my
she's good in that.
She was good, though, playing a confident Texas businesswoman, talking about straight up, you know what? I'm struggling with my husband's sexuality.
She kept her integrity at the same time as showing her breasts.
That's a delicate balance. That's a delicate balance.
Why would you hate on the Hathaways?
Why would you be hating on the Hathaways?
Confident woman in Hollywood whose sole character flaw is that she cares too much. She cares too much. Is that she cares too much. She cares too much. Come on. Come on. You know who they never be hating on?
Who's that, dog?
Sandra Bullock. Sandra Bullock, she
They
says, my
never-
girl.
That's the girl
and
right
they
there.
never be hating on
That's
her.
your girl right there, straight up there. Sandra Bullock, she says, your girl right there, straight up.
Do you know who should do a movie together, though?
Who is that, dog?
Bullocksies and Hathaways.
You talking about some Hathaway and some Bullockses?
No, I'm talking about some Bullocksies and some Hathaways.
Let me just explain what I'm talking about now. I'm talking about some Hathaways and some Bullockses. No, you right.
Bullocksies, Hathaways, that would be my shade!
Oh.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
I thought something was going to
Me too,
happen
son.
for a second.
Figured we would transform in some way, shape, or form. Okay.
That would be my shade. That would be my shade!
Hey, dog. What you get up to this weekend, though, dog?
You know me, man. Got up all up in that bread box.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You know who's good, though?
Who that, dog?
Robert Downey Jr.'s.
Robert Downey Jr.'s, though, dog? Which one?
Tony Stark's, dog.
Tony Stark! Yeah, man, Tony Stark's Iron Man's. My man be building his own suit and everything and getting all witty with pepper pots.
Yo, my man's got a glowing heart in that one. One. You give that a statue for that alone.
That's right there, man.
Definitely, dog. Yo, but yo, another thing about RD squared real quick.
Go to it.
Sherlocky Holmes.
Sherlocky Holmesies. Remember when Sherlock Holmes was in that pit?
Yeah.
He was just fighting that dude.
And he fighting that
was the
dude.
dude. And then all of a sudden, in his mind, he made everything go in slow motion. I've got to do this, and I've got to do this, and then statistically, I should do this. And then it came. And then he went back to real life speed, and he did it. He was like, what?
That was my jam.
That was my jam right there.
That was my jam.
He knew what was going to happen.
Yo,
Yo, statistics.
and then remember that one scene where he woke up in his neighbor's daughter's bed and he was all on drugs and shit?
Yeah. No, that was RD squared in real life, though, right there.
It was.
That was real life,
He was
though.
good in that one, though. He was good.
That was very realistic. Yeah. You know what else is good, though, Doc?
Who?
Valley Kilmers.
Oh, we talking about Valley Kilmers right now. We talking about Valley Kilmers right now, dog? Which one?
Oh, you know, Valley Kilmers and Tombstones.
Oh, what? What? Come on, man.
That's my
Right there, Docky Holiday's doing.
my man's trying. I'll be your Huckleberry.
Oh, and it was up in that OK Corral.
Oh,
talking about
herbs.
Okay.
Oh, you ain't okay.
Hey,
That's my jam right
That's
there.
my jam right
What
there.
about my boy Valley Kilmers and the Willows, though?
Oh, yo.
What about Valley Kilmers and that Willows, though?
Kilmers
Remember
up in that
Valley Kilmers and
Willows,
that
dog.
Willows?
Yo, when he was Mad Mardigans and they was in that medieval toboggan.
That's what I'm talking about.
And a little leprechaun talking about, you are great.
And he was magically delicious, dog.
Magically delicious,
That
dog.
was my jam. Oh, but what about Val Kilmer's and the Saints?
Oh, Valley Kilmers in the Saint.
Valley Kilmer's and the Saints.
When my man was like,
And then he was like,
I didn't see that one.
the cover looked enticing.
You know what I'm realizing right now for the first time?
What's that?
It's like if there was a graph of RD Square and Valley Kilmer's careers.
Yeah.
RD Square would start down here.
Right, and Valley Kilmer's would be starting right up here.
And RD Square would get this trajectory going.
Right, and then Valley Kilmer's be on this trajectory right here like
just
this,
making
right?
movies. They're just making movies.
Making movies, get a little crazy.
Just getting a little drugs, just
Get
getting a little bit
crazy, still making movies.
And then they meet at this point,
in the same movie.
which is why the best movie of all time is
Kiss, Kiss.
Bang, Bang. Kiss, Kiss, Bang, Bang is my
Yo,
What's up?
Game of Thrones, though, dog.
Yo, you all caught up?
Yo, I totally binge watched that whole thing last night, dog.
Yo, it's cold-blooded up in Westeros, dog. They killed my Ned Starks. You ain't seen that one coming, did you?
Hell no. Oh my God. I mean, my man was just there, right? And he talking about, he got down there and the thing, like, blip, sing. And then I was like, I ain't worried, they gonna kill my boy Ned Stark.
Slip.
And then plop. I was like,
Yo, I told you they cold-blooded up in there.
and then I was like, but that's okay because I still got my Khal Drogo.
Oh, Big Zave Navarro?
Yeah.
Big Zave Navarro?
Big Wow.
Yeah, that dude picked up some molten gold, poured it on heads.
I wanna sleep with my sister. And he killed him, right? I mean, he big like Hercules and everything.
Yeah.
I'm like, you can't kill Khal Dragos with a paper cut.
And infected scratch up on there.
Scratch.
But he got straight killed. But you know who my favorite character is, though?
Who's that, dog?
Khaleesi's.
Khaleesi.
You know I be liking some Khaleesi's, dog. But what about Khaleesi's?
Straight up with them dragons. Khaleesi's with them dragons. And Khaleesi's all like this. And then we talking about... Just straight roasting goats.
Yo!
Oh, my God.
Man,
I mean-
and that's when they start killing characters left and right, dog.
At the wedding?
Yo, at the wedding.
What stars?
What?
His wife.
What?
They got his mom.
Yo! Killed. That was a 4-for-1, dog.
4-for-1 up there,
That's
dog.
a straight 4-for-1, dog.
4-for-1 up in
What
there.
about when they got Wildlings girl talking about, you know nothing, Jon Snow. Killed.
What about the hound, though?
Yo, the hound talking about.
I'm falling down the hill. Kill me. You gotta kill me.
No.
Killed slowly by omission.
Bingo.
Yo, but what about my man Tywin Lannisters? Tywin Lannisters.
Tywin Lannister stuff.
Yo, my man talking about. I'm taking his. Yeah.
He said,
I'm taking. Killed
by his own son.
what?
The Dinkles.
The Dinkles.
Dinkles, though.
The Dinkles.
The Dinkles.
Dinkles is my jam.
Ain't nobody killed the Dinkles.
The Dinkles is my jam, my jelly, my peanut butter, and my peanuts.
The
Dinkles.
Dinkles.
Dinkles, though!